Today we learn to identify some common English mistakes made in India, and we'll also learn to correct these mistakes. Welcome to another lesson with that English tutor. As you can see, we have 5 sentences on the screen. Each one has an error. Let's read these sentences and try to find the mistakes. Ravi and his would-be are both doctors. Faith in God helped her cope up with life's challenges. Many students have a habit of mugging before their exams. It was raining, so therefore we stayed at home. I just can't make out what's written on the board. Could you identify the errors? All 5 sentences contain Indianisms. Now, what are Indianisms? Indianisms are expressions that are unique to Indian speakers of the English language. This video will help us learn alternative expressions to use instead of these Indianisms so that we are able to express our thoughts and ideas effectively, even if we find ourselves among native English speakers. If you've missed my other videos on Indianisms, you can watch those later. You'll find their links in the description below. Now let's go through all 5 sentences one by one and correct the mistakes. Here's the first sentence. Ravi and his would-be are both doctors. What's the problem with this sentence? Can you spot the Indianism? As Indians, we are all aware that would-be here refers to Ravi's future wife. However, if we were to use this term in the presence of a native English speaker, they would be thoroughly confused. Would-be is a typically Indian expression used to refer to somebody's wife-to-be or husband-to-be. The more appropriate term for somebody you are engaged to is fiancé. Please note that the spelling of fiancé differs slightly depending on whether you are referring to a man or a woman. This spelling refers to an engaged man. We add an extra E when referring to a woman who's engaged. The pronunciation, however, remains exactly the same. Fiancé. Hence, the globally accepted version of the above sentences, Ravi and his fiancée are both doctors. Look closely at the way we've spelt the word fiancé. There are 2 E's indicating that we are referring to a woman. Here's the second sentence. Faith in God helped her cope up with life's challenges. Can you identify the error in this sentence? The expression cope up is the mistake here. Indian speakers of the English language often make this mistake. The term cope means to manage or deal with a problem successfully. It's followed by with. Cope with. Cope is not followed by up. Hence, the above sentence should be, faith in God helped her cope with life's challenges. Okay, moving on. Let's read the third sentence. Many students have a habit of mugging before their exams. Do you think there's an error in this sentence? Teachers often discourage their students from mugging before exams. If you were to tell an American that students in India have a habit of mugging, they would be very concerned, or maybe even frightened. You see, mugging actually means attacking somebody with the intention of robbing them. The following sentence will help you understand better. A masked man was recently arrested for mugging an elderly person. In India, we use the term mugging to mean rote learning or memorizing, generally before an exam. The American equivalent of mugging up is cramming. Please understand that it's not wrong to use mug up or mugging up the way we do in India, but it always helps to be aware of the way the English language is spoken in other cultures. After all, we don't want our words to be misinterpreted by people living in other parts of the world. The above sentence can be modified thus to suit Western sensibilities. Many students have a habit of cramming before their exams. It is also correct to use mugging up in this sentence. Just make sure you say mugging up and not mugging. Let's go on to the next sentence. But before that, do give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful thus far. Sentence number 4. It was raining, so therefore we stayed at home. What's the problem with this sentence? Can you spot the error? So therefore is the problem. We've used both so and therefore even though they mean the same thing here. So means for this reason. Therefore also means for this reason. So therefore is what we call a redundant expression. We are repeating two different words that mean the same thing one after the other. It's like saying, it was raining, so we stayed at home, or it was raining, therefore we stayed at home. Clearly, both so and therefore are not needed. We can say it was raining, so we stayed at home, or we can say it was raining, therefore we stayed at home. Please note that so is more common in speech, whereas therefore is more common in writing. And we generally use therefore in formal situations. Let's read sentence number 5. I just can't make out what's written on the board. What do you think is the problem with this sentence? Actually, there is no grammatical mistake here, but the phrase make out is what I want you to take a closer look at. In this sentence, make out means understand. I just can't understand what's written on the board. But please note that you need to keep the context in mind when using this expression. Take a look at the following sentence. The young couple was making out at the party. Making out is an American slang phrase for kissing. We need to be aware of the fact that phrasal verbs can sometimes have unexpected slang meanings. Being aware helps us adapt our language to the situation we are in. The following are some alternative ways of wording the above sentence. I just can't understand what's written on the board, or I just can't tell what's written on the board. In casual conversations, the verb tell means understand. Have a look at this sentence. I couldn't tell whether he was serious or joking. That means I couldn't understand whether he was serious or joking. If this video helped you, please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Make sure to like this video and share it with at least one person who could benefit from it. Comment below if you have any questions or suggestions. If you found this video helpful, you should take a look at this playlist. It contains all of my videos on Indianisms. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next video.